a few days ago about USCIS temporary office closures. We got so many questions, and I wanted to answer some of those questions live and also give you an update about what I think is going to happen and allow you an opportunity to ask me questions if you're watching it live right now. So once again, I am Jacob Sapochnik. I am an immigration attorney from San Diego, California. And if you're new to this channel, I welcome you. I know there's a lot of confusion right now about immigration. A lot of people are wondering what's going to happen. And this is why we're here, to give you live updates and answer all your questions. So if you're joining me live right now, make sure you mention your name and let me know where you're tuning from. And what I'm going to do is I have a bunch of these questions here from our channel here. Let's see here. And I wanted to answer some of those questions in the live stream right now. So let me get to those questions. Here we go. Here. And you know, the funny thing is, hey, fam, here, I can see you now. Here we go, here we go. Amazing. You know, for us as immigration lawyers, hey, my friend, nice to see you, fam. For us as immigration lawyers, when we do these things, you know, when we try to provide information in this day and age, is so hard because we never know what's going to happen, and we never know, you know, where's the next, what's going to happen. We never know when, what changes are going to happen. You know, especially with immigration being closing offices, with you know, just, you know, people are getting appointments canceled. You know, people are just so anxious. So as I get into the questions, I wanted to, the people that are live right now, I see a bunch of you here live. Let me know where you're from. Post them in the comments. Let me know where you're from. You can start posting the questions here. I have a bunch of questions here that I am going to try to go through. But if you're, you know, if you're tuning in right now, let me know where you're from and what questions you have about what's happening right now. The other thing is that we've started, just about a week ago, we started a private Facebook group where we pretty much answer questions in a safe place. People have a lot of concerns, have a lot of anxiety about immigration. And so I built this Facebook group. The link is in the comments. Loaded is from Jamaica. Nice. Welcome, welcome. Yeah, I definitely want to know where you're from. And I'm going to try to do live videos. I'm going to try to do live videos every single day. I'm going to try. And if you guys like those videos, I'm going to do them every day. There's a lot of updates. I have 30 questions just lined up from the past 2 days just about this topic here. So Marge says how you can send questions. So you can send questions by Clarice from Angola. Nice, nice. You can send your question in the comment right here. And so you can do that. And I'm going to answer those questions as well, biometrics. So any questions you have, just post them in the comments below, and I'll answer them. So Lauren has a question about biometrics, and I have at least 6 or 7 questions about biometrics. So basically, biometric appointments are going to be rescheduled. Like I mentioned in the original video, appointments for interviews, appointment for naturalization, appointment for adjustment of status, and biometrics, they're going to be rescheduled automatically by USCIS, okay? So this is going to happen automatically. You don't have to worry about rescheduling them. The only thing that you have to reschedule yourself is if you have an InfoPass appointment. If you had an InfoPass appointment during this particular period of time, you can reschedule that InfoPass appointment. You have to do it on your own. So to answer your question, Loaded, when do you think biometrics is going to happen? I think expect at least 60-day delay as soon as they reopen for them to be able to reschedule people to go back on track. What is really important, and I don't know if I mentioned that in the video that I've done a couple of days ago, what is really important is that your address must be current with the USCIS service, right? It has to be current, because if your address is not current, then you're gonna miss on the appointments, and you're gonna miss the appointments, and then your case could be denied. So let's go look at some of the comments, and I'll continue back with some of the questions. So Nagari, he's from Jamaica. We have Omar from Egypt. Anybody who's watching it right now, let me know in the comments where you're from. Click those likes here. Danny is asking, Nagari is from Jamaica, but he lives in Iowa, and he has a few questions though. So once again, any questions you have, just post them here. I'm going to see them because I can see your questions, guys. And what I can do as well is I can highlight your questions. So for example, I'll show you what I'm going to do. So Danny is asking, how about the I-130? I'm at my final step in NVC. They're still reviewing them and sending them to the embassy. So yes, so the only thing that is changing in the embassies is that they are not seeing people physically. But as far as processing, schedule appointments, that still happens right now. That answers your question, Danny, and you'll be able to get your the step from MVC to the embassy still happens today. It's just that the physical appointments are not happening. We have a question for Marge. And once again, once you post your question, I'm going to highlight the question on the screen so you can see it as well. The question is, my OPT ends next month. Can I extend after 60-day grace period? So typically, as you know, if you have a regular OPT is only good for about a year, right? So what you can do if the crisis continues, and I made a video, you guys go back in the video and look at the video that I mentioned where I talk about the grace period, and I also talk about the fact that if you have economical hardship as a student, you can apply for a separate work permit outside of OPT. So if you cannot afford to stay here, or if you got sick with the virus, whatever that is, you can show economic hardship, you can apply for a separate work permit outside of the OPT. Hopefully that makes sense. Kenya is asking, do USCIS approve K-1 visa cases while their office, actually, let me pose the question here. Do USCIS approve K-1 visa cases while the offices are closed to the public? Absolutely. So remember, when USCIS and the embassies, they are still working back end. They're still working back end. In fact, there's another notice that was published yesterday that says that if there are emergency appointments, you can still schedule those by calling a specific number, and they have a number on their website that says if you need an emergency appointment for whatever that is, you can still call, and they may make an exception. But the general idea is that they're not going to see anybody in person. There's no interviews, and therefore everything is kind of pushed forward. And that's why we expect severe backlogs once they reopen the immigration again. Goddess, Twiggy, hey, my husband just sent our question here. My husband just sent our petition from Lithuania. He's in the US. We want to make sure our petition get there when they're gonna send an email. I'm not sure. They're still checking them. So once again, your husband petition is, I assume that he had an I-130 and then the petition was sent to Lithuania. Everything happens in the background. They're still working. So your case will be processed from the USCIS, your I-130 will be approved, then that case will be sent to the National Visa Center, and then eventually the embassy will get your case. So they are still working on your case, and they'll send an email with the next steps, and you're still going to be able to pay the fee with MVC. Everything is still working. We have Luis Vieira watching from Argentina. Good. Thank you, my friend, for watching. This is Miami, and the wife is in Cuba. Excellent. And then we have a question for Genia. Jenny is asking, do you know if USCIS is waiving interview for marriage-based cases? I am from Senegal. So as of now, we haven't heard of any interview waivers. Okay, so this is something that people mentioned that could be a possibility that they're going to be waiving certain interviews. What I think is going to happen is that if they're going to be waiving any interviews, those interviews are going to be the employment-based. I don't think they're going to be waiving the marriage-based interviews, because marriage-based interviews are too important for them to, for them to waive, because we have a lot of people that, need those interviews, and for them to determine if the case is real or not, they have to see you. I can imagine that they could waive employment-based interviews, because those interviews only came into play about a year ago. We have Nagari is asking, are they still accepting any cases? So yes, they are accepting all cases. They are accepting all cases by mail. As long as you file those cases by mail, they will accept them. What they're not accepting is people in person. What they're not accepting is people to go for an info pass. What they're not accepting is people to go and get their biometrics appointments done. So that they're not accepting. But they're accepting all kind of cases by mail, and they're still processing them. Now, yesterday I was at a TV interview for the news, and they were talking about people that are waiting to become citizens before the elections in November. They're worried about that. Are they going to be able to become citizens? And so maybe they're going to do some video ceremonies. Maybe they're going to do some video interviews. We don't know that. I mean, they haven't given us any instructions. That's why it's so confusing. Clara Prado is asking, how about the work permit? How long do you think you can get this? So once again, I did say is they're going to waive certain biometric appointments for work permits, so people can get those work permits faster. So if you, as you know, when you apply for a work permit or anything, any other benefit like that, you need to get a biometrics. Some of these biometrics are going to be waived, so people can get their work permits faster. But right now, it's just hard to say. I would say at least 4 months or so. Luis Vieira is asking a question. Do you think e-visa requires could be starting in the second half of the year? Well, I mean, Luis, as far as E2 visas, I'm still filing E2 visas right now. So the only thing is that you're not going to be able to get an interview at the U.S. Embassy, but I'm filing those petitions. It's taking in some embassies at least 4 to 12 weeks to get appointments. So if you have an E2 visa, you should file the application. There's no reason why you shouldn't mail it. They didn't say they're stopping to accept applications. Is USCIS still processing field forms? Johnny is asking. Yes, they are processing field forms. So the issue is that you can still file and send them forms. They are definitely sending forms. And again, any one of you that are asking questions, please let me know where you're from. I'm very curious to know where you're tuning in from. I'm actually basically here in San Diego, California, doing this live stream from my house. Usually I'll do it from my office, but we're doing it from my house. We have Jenia, and thank you. You're welcome. And Johnny's asking, has USCIS approved cases since I-944? So remember that the form I-944 just came into place in February, right? So there's no approved cases yet since February, because we are now in April. So there are no approved cases yet with I-944, to answer the question. Gabriela is asking, are employment-based interviews going to be waived? So that's a good question. I hope so, because I think that if they will waive employment-based interviews, it's going to help us definitely deal with the backlog and help us, obviously, I mean, employment-based cases take a lot of time. So if they're going to waive those cases, it's going to help us a lot. Omar is, oh, that's a good question from Omar. Omar is a physician. I'm a physician from Egypt. My biometrics is canceled. Can I expedite my EAD? If yes, how? So listen, Omar, you're in a very good position to expedite. What you have to do is you have to put a petition, a letter with all the supporting documents, with the fact that you're a physician, and put on the envelope emergency physician case. You send it to the EAD division where they do the EADs and ask for expedite. And basically, you can expedite EAD if there's specific circumstances. In this case, you're using the coronavirus as one. So we've done quite a few of those expedite for physicians in recent weeks. So make sure you do it, and you will get your EAD work approved before. Danny Diaz is asking, do you think they will do a video chat for marriage cases? I mean, I would hope to believe they would. I don't believe. I mean, I would like to think that they would, but I just don't think. I mean, I don't possibly believe that they'll do it because there's just so many things that comes in an interview. You know, they want to see the body language. They want to see what the couple have. They want to see them. The whole experience of walking into the interview. So I think it's not going to be very well presented on video. But I'm hoping they could. Gabriela is from Brazil. You're welcome. Another question for I'll be great. He is an F2 current. Is F2A still current? I'm a green card holder, and my son is here on a visitor visa. Can I do concurrent filing for him? I'm from New Carolina. So as far as I'm aware, F2A is still current. It's important to check. So there are two kinds of visa bulletin. There's a visa bulletin that is in charge of the embassy, and there's a visa bulletin for F2A for USCIS. Make sure you check the visa bulletin that pertains to USCIS, and if it's current, you can do concurrent filing. S&D, I'm going to try to get all your questions live, but if not, I'll go back to the comments. And S&D Entertainment, do you think international graduate seniors can extend their 60-day grace period if they doesn't open in time? So that's a good question. As of now, they haven't announced anything about that. And if you pass beyond your 60-day grace period, I would recommend to file just for change of status. Don't take a chance on that. Guys, those of you that are watching this live, if you're here for the first time, just wanted to kind of stop this thing for a second. If you're here for the first time, make sure that you join our private Facebook group. I just started it literally a week ago. And this group is this group is our Facebook group. This group is specifically to answer questions that people have in a private, secure way. Things that you're not going to want to put in public. And we have small lives that are more private every single day. And we try to do this every single day to give the community their answers. So just kind of letting you know, I'd love to see you in the group as well. Let me take a couple of more questions, and then we'll end this live. I'm going to do a live. I'm going to try to do a live every single day. I'm going to try to hold myself to that. Let me know if you think, if you like the lives, I'll do one every single day. Let me choose another question. Here we go. My fiance approval letter expired on May 28th. Do you know what will happen? So if your fiance approval expires on the 28th, the 90 days expires on the 28th, that's what I assume it is, you need to file the adjustment before that. You can still file the adjustment. You're here in the US, file the adjustment. You still have time. Let's see. Julia is asking, I'm going to try to get to a bunch of people of you. Was MVC offices closed? So the MVC, Julia, that's a good question. So the MVC offices, typically they don't see people in person. They never see people in person. So MVC is still working. They're working obviously in a limited capacity. People are not all of them are in the office, and they have their schedule, but MVC cases definitely work. And you shouldn't have any. I mean, there'll be delays just because of the overall system works. But MVC, they're still working. Let me see here. Enrique, I have a question. I have an approved 601 waiver, also known as a pardon, but I haven't received notification from USCIS when it's going to be my interview. So, Enrique, the waiver is approved with USCIS, but I would imagine that your interview is at the consulate, unless you have a case that is being processed in the US. That's why I'm not sure about your question. So if your interview is at the US Embassy, because you're coming with a waiver from the US Embassy, you're going to get notice from the embassy. If your interview is with USCIS, you'll get a separate interview from USCIS. I'm going to take 2 more questions, and then we're going to end this live, and I'm going to come back tomorrow. I promise you, we're going to do more questions. See, we have Abbas is asking, can USCIS waive form I-690 for marriage case? They are not going to waive this form, but you don't have to submit it upon filing. But they're not going to waive this form. This is a really important part of the application. It's part of the actual requirements. The link to the Facebook group, that's a good question from Omar. If you look at the description of the, if you look at the description of my, actually I put it here. If you look at the description of this video, when the video is going to be, when I'm going to be done with the live, the description for the Facebook group is going to appear in the description of the video. You'll see it. It's the first link, and you'll be able to join the group. All right, guys, I will be back tomorrow. I promise you. And here we go. Thank you, Julie. I appreciate it. And thank you, guys. Thank you for supporting our channel, for coming here to get answers. I'm going to do my best to get the information out there. And follow me on Instagram, TikTok, and obviously here on YouTube. So link for the group is in the comments. And I'll see you guys tomorrow. Stay healthy, stay safe, and most importantly, stay informed. Thanks for watching.